Hello, hello, hello. This is Ana Dominguez, your language coach, and today is about the unit 58. Remember, if you are studying like me for Escuela Oficial de Idiomas or Secundaria Inglés, and I say oh because you know there are different categories, so they are actually different exams. Although you study with the same material, right? The differences on the exam, I have explained them in my website, so you could go and check there. But usually, I guess it's basically the same. The law changes and it's more direct into the secondary, obviously, or high school. Whereas for Escuela Oficial de Idiomas, you need to understand how it works, the education law, and the changes that has happened. But remember that the 14 years old are allowed to enter in these groups, but basically this Escuela Oficial de Idiomas is for adults and those who really want to study the language. So that's, I think, is a plus for teachers like me, that I guess my field is basically with adults, and I really enjoy the atmosphere of people that really want to study the language. So you could enter with more detail, you could do many activities with them, like theater or any kind of writing activities with them. Obviously you could do that also for in secondary and high school, but the context is a little bit different. Yes, so I guess for Escuela Oficial de Idiomas, that's my goal and that's what I want to do. So I'm here presenting you the 58th unit. It says Modern Novel in Britain, Selection of Text and Analysis of a Representative Work. The first thing you will find in my material is the index. Then, so you can have a look to what we are going to talk about. And then you have here the bibliography of the unit. And you know that in my material, I link also the bibliography, so then you could check the information, buy the book and read on your own and add more information in this unit. Principal questions. Discuss Golding's view on his novel, Lord of Flies. List some of the trends that contributed to the change of ideological climate in the 60s. Discuss Rhys' work, David Lodge, and finally, new political and social ideologies in the 70s and 80s. Let's continue. By the way, these principal questions, I usually ask you to answer them in my website. So not only you have this video in YouTube, you also go and check my information in my website, analanguagecoach.com, because there I usually post an article or some kind of writing that I talk about the units, add the video, and then I give you the chance to exercise these principal questions and send me your answers through a form that I add there. Anyway, I keep going. Outline or topic or summary, or topic summary or lesson plan. These are the three different names for we could say the index as well, but this is the outline because this is a little bit more developed than the index, okay? Introduction, and then we have number one, the novel in the 50s. So now think about the 50s, okay? First, Lawrence Durrel. Lawrence Durrel is a Pisces, as you could see. I here place his face. So for me, it's essential to match writers with their face and essential also to match with their voice. Like, for example, when I talk and I think of Virginia Woolf, or when I think of any philosopher, including also philosophers that write essays and things like that. For example, Bertrand Russell, I adore the way he speaks, he writes, and it's very, to me, it's very easy to kind of identify his flavor, we could say. So with having in mind that, it's essential that you know how to recognize the pieces of work. And here I'm giving you some notable works from him. Alexandria Quarter, Justin Baltasar, Montolive and Clee. I don't know if I have said it right, but you can go and check the pronunciation if you want in word reference or in Lingui or in some kind of information that you find about him. But I think I said it right. Then Avignon Quintant, Monsieur, that's a French word, and I probably have said it wrong, sorry. Monsieur Livia, Constance, Sebastian, and Quinch. I don't know if you have read him, but I have to say that I haven't read him yet. And I'm looking forward to read some of them. Obviously, for the civil exam, it's impossible that you, in just 1 year or 2 years, you read everything. It's kind of difficult because we do other things. But my recommendation would be go and check at least one of these novels from the first period and then another one from the second period and see the differences. Anyway, that's the first author. And then just to highlight that he was born in the British Empire in Punjab, okay? And then he lived in France. That's why, you know, the kind of names that he gives to his work are also with this imprint of French language. Let's continue with the next one, and is William Golding. Okay, he's a Virgo, as you could see, September 1911 in England till 19 of June, actually 1 day after my birthday, because I was born in the 18th of June. But anyway, he died in 1993, aged 81, and he was in England. Notable work and notable works, as you know very well: Lord of the Flies, Rites of Passage. Yes, the Rites of Passage is this kind of ceremonies that we do in order to kind of cross a period of time and become someone a little bit more mature, adult, and things like that. Like, I don't know, in our country, probably the communion, it's one of the rites of passage. It was before maybe the military service, but now it's optional, and that is not for everyone. But I don't know, for example, passing from high school to university is a period of the rites of passage. But in here, you could experience his perspective and his studies and his work related to that. Lord of the Flies. I'm not going to enter to discuss or comment their work. I'm just giving you this as a brief summary. Muriel Spark. And I gave you also the whole name sometimes, like in this case, she is Aquario, as you could say, and it's called Muriel Sarah Camber, but then she changed and she signed as Muriel Spark. And notable works from her: The Comforters, The Prime of Miss Jane Brodie, The Mandelbaum Gates, and The Driver's Seat. Also Memento Mori. Just give you the names and then you can just explore and try to find some of these novels. Kingsley Amis, he is an Aries, and he was born in April, as you could see, in England, and he died when he was 73 in England too, in 1995. Associated with the group Angry Young Men, you probably have heard of them, with William Cooper, John Wayne, John Brain, I don't know. Check the information somewhere, probably in my website. I will also comment that. Notable works: Lucky Him, 1954. That Uncertain Feeling, 1955. I Like It Here, 1958. And The James Bond Dossier, 1965. This is interesting because he actually kind of helped to add more information in this character, the James Bond character. Other writers from the 50s: Angus Wilson, Iris Murdoch, or Samuel Beckett. okay, that they might be developing some other units, but I'm just gonna just place them here as well, just for you to remember that they are in this, included in this. The novel in the 60s, Introduction, a New Ideology, writers of the 60s, John Fowles. He is an artist as well. He was born in England and he died in 2005, age 79 in England. His notable works are The Collector, 1963, The Magus, 1966, The French Lieutenant's Woman, 1969. And you know, you probably have heard of this work because of the movie that Meryl Streep did and performed, and she was kind of fantastic there too. So you probably have heard this novel because of that movie, and if not, congratulations, you have already read that. Anthony Burgess, he is Pisces. It's interesting, this man, I don't know why, it appears always in a very strange way in his pictures in internet. And this guy, it was the one that you probably know the movie, who wrote The Clockwise Orange in 1962. Nothing Like the Sun, also he wrote A Story of Shakespeare's Love Life. Very interesting, right? So these novels, I highly recommend you to maybe this summer go buy one, you know, on paper and enjoy it and try to find his taste, his way of writing. Very interesting man. And then Margaret Drabble, I have read from her two short fiction, that is The Gift of War, 1969, and Hassan's Tower, 1980. It was fantastic. It was a gift from one of the teachers when I was teaching in one of the state, semi-state schools. I was teaching there, and she gave it as a present. That was fantastic, and I didn't know her, and I discovered her thanks to her, to this other teacher. So I say hello to her. Probably she's not, following me here, but anyway, Margaret Drabble, she's not dead. She is 82, and she wrote A Summer Birdcage, 1963, The Milestone, 1965, Jerusalem the Golden, 1967. Very interesting, and I really, really liked these two short fictions that I'm placing here. You can just go and buy it and read it. Jane Rhys. She is Virgo as well. 24th August 1890. Oh, have in mind that. And she was British in islands, in now Dominica, what is called Dominica, and she died in 14th May 1979, age 88, in Britain. Notable works: Good Morning, Midnight, White Sargasso Sea, 1966. So there are two, I placed two. Good Morning, I guess it's Good Morning, Midnight, and then White Sargasso Sea. Or maybe is that all the same one? I'm not confused, but go and check her information. I haven't read yet her novels. The novel in the 70s and 80s. Introduction, A Change of Outlook, Postmodernism, Magic Realism, and Novels as They Used to Be. Writers of the 70s and 80s. I'm placing here Martin Amis, again a Virgo, 25 August 1949, in England, Oxford. And he's still alive, 72 years. Notable works: The Rachel Papers, 1973. Success, 1978. You know that the U is like a schwa, and in Spanish we say success, but it's not, it's success. So there is no A, and there is no U either, is a schwa. Other People, 1981, actually the day where I was born, 1981. Other people, Anne Money, 1984, London Fields, 1989. David Lodge, 28 January 1935, age 87, still alive, in Brooklyn, London, England. Notable works: Changes Place, A Tale of Two Campuses, 1975, A Small World, An Academic Romance, 1984, and Nice Work, 1988. Salman Rushdie. Salman Rushdie, 19 of June, age 74. He is living in Bombay, British India. His notable works is Midnight's Children, 1981, Shame, 1983, and The Ground Beneath Her Feet. This has been misplaced, but it's The Ground Beneath Her Feet, 1999. And I have to say, when you read the work of people, the titles, there are certain titles that you just go directly and read it. For example, this one, The Ground Beneath Her Feet. I love his title. So let's keep going. And then we have Kazuo Ishiguro, November 1958, age 67. And he's from Japan, and he wrote in English these works: Winifred Holdby Memorial Prize, 1982, A Pale View of Hills, Whitbread Prize, 1985, An Artist of the Floating World. That's another title that I would say, okay, I would like to read and see what's going on. Booker Prize, 1989, The Remains of the Day. I guess I'm here giving you also the names of the prize that he got. The Remains of the Day, you probably have heard. It's also kind of famous. Jeannette Winterston, Jeannette Winterston, 27th August 1959, age 62, Manchester, England, UK. Notable works: Oranges Are Not the Only Fruit. ¿Vale? Orange is one of these words that we say wrong. So oranges are not the only fruit, 1985. The Passion, 1987, Sex in the Cherry, 1989, Written on the Body, I guess is on the body, so there is no N there, sorry for the misspelling, 1992, sorry. And then finally, Angela Carter, who she has appeared before in the short novels, remember? But she also wrote novels, so that's why she's also here. And she is Taurus, and she died with only 51 years old in 16 February 1992. Notable works from her: The Sadian Woman, An Exercise, Cultural History. I don't know if there's something wrong there. An Exercise, Cultural History. I don't think it's that way. There must be some change here. I misspelled something. Shadow Dance, 1992. The Magic Toy Shop, 1967. You probably have also seen the movie. Heroes and Villains, 1969. The Infernal Desire Machines of Dr. Hoffman, 1972. The Passion of the New Eve, 1977. Nights at the Circus, 1984. And Wise Children, 1991. She is quite famous. You probably have heard of her. If not, just maybe you could start by grabbing one of these books. Maybe start with the short novels and then just move on to some others longer, like the novels. Conclusions. The development of British fiction during the last 45 years is but another mirror of the degree of complexity that late 20th century Britain has achieved. The multiplicity of races and cultural backgrounds is paralleled in the post-colonial boom. The diversity of ideas, styles, and fashions, some of them definitely perishable. Perishable is that they perish, they just gone off. Some of them to last, is implicit in postmodernist works. In spite of the profits that the book is already a dead artifact, publishing is still a fairly strong business, and the number of new titles increases every year. There is an interest definitely in the novel, either as entertainment, substitute for journalism, and lesson Argus, or as a work of art. Probably as the three at once. And in view of the achievement it has managed to make up to now, it will be interesting to watch what the 21st century novel look like. So yeah, I would say that if it's to watch what the 21st century novel looks like, I guess it's gonna have to be with S, because it's a per person novel. No, novels is just one. So that would also be another misspelling. Anyway, we have finished reading this part. 22 minutes and I'm done. This is it. If you like my video, my content, and you think that I can help you with more things related to the official exam, please subscribe to my channel. Send me an email saying that you will be interested in buying my material, buying my online private lessons, and I can help you with that. Have a fantastic summer. Pick some of these books and read on your own. Bye-bye.